Good morning. Morning. How wonderful it is to be here. How wonderful it is to have this opportunity to enter these 2 days. It always seems like just 2 days in life, but actually, because they are such a journey is so dense, so full of experience, learning, subtle sensations and feelings that are sometimes uncontainable. Such 2 days feel very, very long. Because they are so meaningful. They are our opportunity to take a deep look into a certain aspect, a certain dimension of our human life, the personal and the universal nature of our life, and to see so much. We are magnifying it in such a way that we can see so many things that perhaps have been left unnoticed or untreated, unhealed. And the following 2 days are particularly interesting because in so many ways they deal not with some dimension of our life, but it starts and ends with us here, as we sit and look into each other's eyes. This moment of meeting, how deep can it go? What happens in that moment? How can we fulfill the potential of this very meeting, this very moment between us? And we are going to widen, to broaden this moment of our meeting, so that what happens between us throughout these 2 days is not less meaningful than what can happen after this seminar, when you carry with you this knowledge, this capacity. Who knows where it's going to lead? Some of you I know very well for I think, several years. Some of you I know little. Some of you I don't know at all. And I'm honored to meet. However, there is a level of our meeting in which it doesn't matter at all whether we have known each other for several years, 1 year, or 5 minutes. And this is where the truth of intimacy begins, but let's enter that truth. It's not just a matter of statement. We need to realize it, to make it tangible. If we're lucky, we will manage to do that. It is almost needless to say, but in this seminar, perhaps more than in any other seminar, feel comfortable to be able to ask questions when there is space for questions, for dialogue, to really try to understand and to deepen your understanding. There is absolutely no real distance between us. The distance is technical because in this context, I am the one that is guiding the seminar and so-called transmitting the knowledge, directing, but in terms of, in any other sense, we are going through it together. We understand together, we grow together. Your confusion is my confusion, and your clarity is my clarity. What is good is that we have here a high intention to learn and to explore, and that is deeply felt in the air. That's good. So, whenever we're starting a day, just directly jumping into philosophy is not a good way to start. It is always good to start with guided meditation. A guided meditation that can both bring us to this moment, to the now, and already give many hints for the journey that is ahead, and for our morning talk as well. So shall we? Let's enter a guided meditation. It's a very simple one. So we just make sure that we make ourselves comfortable enough in a position that we don't need to constantly change. Keep our back as erect as possible without tension. Allowing the shoulders to gently fall backwards, to widen our chest area. And take one deep breath. With which we leave behind as much as possible all the burden of the previous moments. And then breathe slowly and deeply. Relaxing more and more with every breath we take. We'll start our morning with perhaps an unexpected type of experience of intimacy. For that we will first of all focus our attention on the life force within our body. This can sound like big words, but it is actually very simple. On the one hand, we have a physical body that we can now feel, the organs, the skeleton, blood, skin, muscles. This can feel very physical. On the other hand, we can notice that there is a sort of vibration, a sort of an energetic rush. Like rivers of or streams of energy that are flowing through the body. As you focus your attention, begin to notice this difference between the dense body and these energetic streams. That in a way animate the body. And give it the sense that it is full of life. Think for a moment of an insect or a butterfly. Perhaps you've once seen an insect full of life, jumping around or flying around. And then suddenly it dies and becomes just a still body. In the very same way, it is this life force that fills your body with life, makes me capable of speaking for some time, now the more you focus your attention on this energy, the more you can notice it like rushes or streams running through your legs and feet. Genitals, belly, chest, hands, head, and what is amazing is that the more you pay attention, the greater the energy becomes. Now notice the difference. It's as if there are two different bodies. One is this entity of vibration, and the second is the very physical body. Now, as much as possible, shift your entire attention only to this energetic layer. As if the physical body has fallen off and all that is this body of vibration. From head to toe. Now feel how this vibration, these streams and rivers of life force are not limited only to the outlines of the physical body. They are also around the skin. Feel how this life force is pulsating also around the body. Is this energy any different than the one that is inside the body? Now notice that this life force has no real distinctions. The life force that inside you and outside you is the very same. Can you find the point where it stops? Is there a real limit, real boundary? Try to find such a limit. Is the life force outside on the street is different from the one that is inside? So now let these so-called boundaries break. Realizing that this life force that is vibrating in your body is not really personal. It actually shares the life force of everything else. Now feel how finally your body of life force immerses in this ocean of life force. That has no end, no edge. Let all boundaries melt away. Even now that we are going to come out of the meditation, you don't need to lose this sense of broadness. This transparency of the outlines of your body. Can slowly and gently come out of the meditation, letting your eyes open softly. This meditation is a very easy way to reveal the simplest fact in the world, and that is the intimacy that we already essentially always share with the entire world. On the surface, we are, of course, this body starts here and ends here and there. This body starts over there, ends there, and we see we have the contours, we have the outlines. But on deeper levels, and the first deep level is the level of the life force, the energy, the vibration of life. This doesn't start here and ends here. It's also here and here and here. And when you begin to walk like that in the world, you realize that this is probably the cutest dog ever, so enjoy him. He is a very devoted listener of mine. He comes to all seminars. He has gone through a silence retreat. He knows stuff. Yeah. That's full of life force.
Yes.
Yes. So when we walk like that in the world, we actually realize that that there are no real boundaries. There are no the physical boundaries. Are only the most superficial layer of life. And yes, in it there is differentiation. Now, this is a very good starting point of our entire journey, because the first law of intimacy is not between people and between couples, between father and child, or mother and child, and so on and so on. The first law of intimacy is that intimacy is essential, it is impersonal, and that it is already here. Intimacy is not something that you do. You don't create it out of nothing. It is a reality into which we're meant to relax. Whenever you sit with others and you think, I want to reach intimacy, or I want to break the boundaries, and so on, you're lost, because you are already trying something that already is. And that creates, just aggravates the sense of separation. So it's not that we're in search of intimacy. We're just called to begin to reveal it, to breathe into it, to widen our being, to just let it be between us. The first intimacy does not start between us in an interpersonal level. It starts between us and the world, where there begins to be a sense of familiarity. You know, the word familiarity and family is they are closely associated, obviously, and familiar, to be familiar with, to feel at home, to feel like to be in the world is to be with family, and that's very essential, because as long as we don't get in touch with this impersonal, essential intimacy, all the personal intimacies that we create are a bit awkward, because they don't lie on this ground of already is. And also that keeps us very hungry, because our hearts are very hungry when we don't feel at home. Then we try to force this homeliness on one person, one people, one child, and that becomes very obsessive and demanding. Nobody can give us the intimacy the amount of intimacy that our heart requires, you see. That remains to a matter between us and the world, between us and the cosmos. So one thing we have agreed on already is that we share the same life force. Do we? I hope so. That this life force that makes this body right now excitedly speak, and the life force in Louis, and the life force that makes you listen, understand, that is just one life force. To understand that is a tremendous thing. It's a total liberation. But now, please let me start with. This was just a warm up. Start with some deeper level of understanding, because to begin our journey, we need to understand certain principles. That what we just said is one of them. And then we can play with these principles throughout the weekend, with our many practices, with our many later talks that will be far more practical. In this talk, I want to go very deeply, and to go also very far away in time. Maybe 15 billion years ago. Maybe, because again, there are many mythologies of the creation of the world. I guess that what science tells us about the one that started 15 billion years ago might change dramatically. And so who knows? But just for the sake of understanding, and we can, and it is as valid as any spiritual truth is.